Okay, guys, here we go. Back once again. As promised, I've got another one for you here. This is one I have been looking to get my hands on for quite some time. It was announced quite a while ago, earlier in the previous year, 2016. But only very recently has made its way into the retail space here in Asia. And it offers some very interesting stuff, for sure, and it's definitely one I wanted to get a close look at and talk about the specs and take a deeper dive into the SpringDrive GMT PROSPEX 200-meter diver. Okay, all right, let's get a look at these two beauties right here. And what we've got is the SBDB018 on the left. That is the black PVD with rose gold. And the SBDB017 on the right, which is the silver with the black dial. Both of these have sapphire crystal. They both have ceramic bezels. They both are titanium, which is the real kicker here, because compared to the two other Transocean models, you can see the beautiful titanium. These have the Zaratsu polish, which is a brushing that is incredibly fine, incredibly smooth. And after they've applied that Diashield, which is the proprietary diamond shield coating, onto the titanium, you've got just something really beautiful here in terms of the finish. Now, one thing to look about is the aggressive and modern styling and the size of the case, because, to be honest, it may not work for everybody. But this one is so packed with great stuff, it's definitely something to consider. As you can see here, this is the one I just reviewed recently, the Transocean chronograph. Really interesting, really beautifully done. Large, heavy, and at 16 millimeters thick. A lot of guys, I don't know if they'd be able to do this when you really want to be in the larger wrist category. It's possible, but it is a big and very serious wrist presence. But you can see both of these models are great, and if you have not seen my video review on this one, definitely go check it out. I just did it a couple of days ago on the channel. And one of the main differences between the two of these, obviously, is the weight and the size, but the key thing really is the chronograph is 16 millimeters tall on the wrist. These guys here are 15.4 millimeters on the wrist, and because they're titanium, they are significantly lighter. And as I've mentioned in several recent reviews on titanium watches from SEIKO, they are always beautifully done to the point where you truly feel as though you may have, in terms of the visual presentation, stainless on your wrist. But this is titanium, and it really, really is beautifully done. But aside from being absolutely feather light and beautifully finished, the real beauty here comes in the silky, smooth, beautiful glide of the SpringDrive movement. This is the caliber 5R6630 Joule SpringDrive movement with a 72-hour power reserve. And you can see we've got the date at 4:30. We've got an offset crown at 4. Well, I'll tell you guys, the fit and finish on this really is impressive when you do see it. I've got to love that deep dish dial that they've created in order to feature the GMT function on this. So we'll talk a little bit about that ahead here. But again, taking a close look at the case design. And you can see they've got a segmented coin edge kind of polished finish to the bezel. The polish and the brush feature on the bracelet with a very large center link on the bracelet, which integrates right into the case. Really does it really does draw the eye in. It really is an impressive design. But really the question is this a design for you? Do you like it? Because it's not something that everybody looks for. There are a lot of guys out there that love the classic style when they look for a diving watch. But you can see, again, the GMT function. It really comes down to this as well. This additional feature with this excellent complication, and they're inserting it into a very beautifully done dial here with the applied indices. The word SEIKO is applied. You can see that the GMT hand is very legible, very bright yellow. And on the black and gold, it is red. But really nicely done configuration. This has the newest version of LumiBright, so it's much brighter than some of the stuff of the past. And you can see the power reserve indicator there on the left-hand side of the dial. Great presentation, guys. I mean, it really is something to behold when you get a chance to see this type of watch in person. So, let's get into this one all overall. We've got a PROSPEX 200-meter diver that has premium materials, beautiful finishing, is feather light. It has a SpringDrive movement with a 72-hour power reserve. It's got texture and depth and really beautifully done. It is made in Japan. It has sapphire crystal. It has the high-quality clasp. Probably the surprising thing is it does not have a signed crown, and it does not have the ceramic feature in the crown, as you would have seen in the previous video for the chronograph. Here it is on the wrist. Now, the salesman's wrist, he's got a small wrist. I think it's doable. He's right on the border. Some guys would say this is simply too big, and some guys would say, well, I like a chunky watch. I like to have something substantial on my wrist, even if I am in the lower wrist category. However, if you are in the larger wrist size, I think you can absolutely do this watch, and you will have no problem whatsoever. And it is also incredibly light and comfortable in that regard. But the question here, I think, at the end is this a sign that Seiko is going to move really one of their most spectacular movements into a more affordable category in the future, or is this a fluke? I don't know. I'm excited about the prospect because I really am enamored with the just absolutely gorgeous beauty and precision of the movement here with the SpringDrive. And when they fit it into something with this collection of materials, it's really hard to beat. Ultimately, you're talking essentially about the case design and the limitations based on that case and bracelet design. But if they should be migrating this movement into more stuff like this in the future, and hopefully new offerings in the future, I think it's an exciting time for guys who love to collect Seiko and certainly who enjoy the tool watch range from Seiko overall, because it's a special technology and it's premium all the way. I think it's just a spectacular offering from them, and I hope to see a lot more like this in the future. Guys, what do you think of this one here? What do you think of the SpringDrive? Is it something that you have? Is it something that you aspire to get into your collection? Are you aware of it overall? I think it's an excellent movement at all across the range, and certainly in the Grand Seiko line. But to be able to get it into something like this, which, I anticipate this price will go down, guys. I mean, I'm seeing it in and around, you're looking at some of the Japan sites have it for about $2,800. I've seen a couple about $2,500 US. That may or may not hold. We'll just have to see. This is the kind of watch, if it sits out there for a while, it might come down in price. I did notice with the original Transocean, the three-hand Transocean, the standard with the 6R15 in it, that price has come down dramatically. I've seen a few of those on eBay, I believe, are around $800 US. That was originally well over $1,000 for that model. Now, the question is, would this happen here with this model? I don't know. We'd have to keep our eyes on it and see what happens in the future. But I love the fact that we've got a sapphire crystal, ISO 6425, 200-meter diver with ceramic and titanium and a SpringDrive. You name it, it's all there. Guys, tell me what you think. It really is an interesting time to be hunting for Seikos, for sure. And I've got a lot more interesting stuff coming up very soon on the channel. Do stay tuned. Please do like and subscribe, because there's definitely going to be some stuff that I think you're going to be interested in here in the future. All price points, and definitely some more affordable stuff, and definitely some surprises. Even I was surprised recently, and I am always looking for interesting stuff like this when I go out looking for Seiko watches. Anyway, guys, thanks again for tuning in once again. If you are new to the channel, check out my Instagram. The link and all that stuff, including all of the specs for these models, will be below shortly in the video, below where the comments there go. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. I do appreciate all your support and tuning in, and definitely leaving me comments and telling me what you think about all this stuff. And I will definitely talk to you soon.